Now we know why SpongeBob has so many holes.
Oh God, no! Don't eat. No, gross.
I am the beautifulest sponge at this Bukake fest.
Look at all my pearl necklaces.
Ooh.
We should never be left unsupervised.
Welcome to the Streamless Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Simon.
I could murder for some good Indian takeaway.
You know, honestly, I hear that. I hear that. Shit's great. Cordelia.
I have shiny rocks with Norse runes on them. They're glorious.
I feel like I think it's sea otters. They're like, they'll sit there and flick like one little rock over and over again. I just see you being like, I got a rock and it's shiny. It's mine. And I'm Rhenvi, and I do not have a welcome mat at my door because I am not a liar.
Well then, remind me not to come over again. I'm clearly not welcome.
Unintended consequences.
Stop. You have side door access, okay? Like you have like actual access, okay? Everybody else can go from the front. What do we have
If it
here?
ain't the consequences of my own actions.
That's so accurate, yeah. But hi guys, how are y'all?
Hi.
Life good. It's
Yeah,
another
we're
beautiful
here.
Sunday. And I do have a little bit of breaking news, which is kind of exciting. It's small, but it's like I
God.
started paying off a loan like 5 years ago,
Mhm.
and today it went through and it was my last payment for a $20,000 loan.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, thank God, that's one less, like, because it was like 500 and something a month, and it was just like, oh my God, like I'm done. So it was like interest and different things. I tried to like prepay a little bit and whatever else. So I guess it was 4 years, but
Right.
still, it was a long time. I was like, it's my final payment, and I want to be like, ha ha ha, get fucked. And they're like, would you like to take out another loan? And I'm like, absolutely fucking not. Thank you. I appreciate your services. My credit was worse then, so my rate was great. We'll just say that much. And I would never like to see you, know you, don't call, don't write, don't text. Just tell me I have made my final payment and I'm good to go. But no, that was just my little miniature announcement that financial somewhat freedom was nice.
Well, here's the nice thing though. Now you have that extra 5 something a month. For the first month, spend it on whatever the fuck you want.
Pizza. Indian.
I ordered 500. Listen, unlike you, when I double checked you last time, like, can you really, or maybe in 2 episodes ago, when you were like, really, 70 pieces of sushi made me want to fall out of my chair. I cannot eat $500 in Indian food. Like, stop.
Not at once.
What am I going to do? Like, Costco seal it up in my freezer and just defrost it as I need?
You order it over a longer period of time. I'm not saying put in a $500 order for Indian food, but if you must, my address is as follows.
Could you imagine? It'd be like 4 or 5 DoorDash people bringing it to your house. You just be like, keep it coming.
Just midstream, someone knocks on my door. Yeah, we got $500 worth of butter chicken and naan bread.
Oh, all just 2 things? Oh God, no. I would be like, you know what? I'm so done with butter chicken. It's like for years, Nate, and still to this day, for like the last 7 years, Nate's had like eggs every morning for breakfast, pretty much. Every morning for breakfast. Still has them every morning for breakfast. I rarely want to. I see your hand raised. I'm not acknowledging you. I'm closing this eye so I don't see you in that frame anymore. But like, I got to the point where like I will so rarely eat eggs because he egged me to death. And I never thought I would be like, I don't want to have that again. Pineapples too. This bitch has like a weird thing when it comes to pineapples. Like he's like, well, they're on sale, and it's a whole pineapple. I'm like, not like chunks, it's a whole pineapple. And it was just the 2 of us for a longest time, and he would buy like 4 pineapples, and I'm like,
Time to make some pineapple vodkas.
Well, you're speaking to my true alcoholic heart. However, I didn't think about that. But it was just so, he's like, well, I got it on sale. I'm like, not everything on sale needs to be bought. And it's just like, yeah, no.
If it's on sale and you didn't need it, you've not saved $5. You have spent $3.
Yes. That is how Nate.exe functions.
I was going to say, sales only work if you intended on buying the product in the first place.
Yeah, and that's why he still enjoys going to the grocery store, and I like having it delivered because I pick exactly what I want. And he's like, I figured I'd get a little bit of this, a little bit. I'm like, no.
See, I'm with Nate on that one because I will never leave for the grocery store with a list.
Yeah, no. See, you guys need.
It's always just if I have a list, it's like breakfast, dinner, because I know what I'm having for lunch. And they're like, but what are you having? I don't know. That's what they have.
I'm putting both of you in, like, grocery jail. No, that's just... That should be a crime.
Oh, scented candle. Oh, I must have that.
No.
Well, like, and then a Monster Energy drink just because it's a new flavor. Let's see what else they have.
No, and then the problem is, then he'll be like, oh, well, I got you these things. I thought you'd like them. Which is very sweet. But I wanted, like, almost none of what he got me. And so I'm like, okay, thanks. Okay,
see,
like, yeah.
Yeah, I send a list with Jesse to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the list gets followed. Like, and it's just for my things. Like, he can buy whatever the fuck he wants for the rest of it, like, for himself and for us. But, like, the things that only I consume is the list that I send him.
Yeah.
And there are times where I'm like, okay, I'm just like, eggs, pita bread, apples, and then like one or two other small things, right? But he'll buy me the eggs, he'll buy me the pita bread, but he'll also buy me hummus. Bitch, we already have a tub and a half of hummus in there. We don't need any more. That's why it was not on the list.
But why don't you eat it then?
I do, but I can only have so much. For two reasons. One, carbs. Two, most hummuses have olive oil in them. I'm allergic to olives. So I have to be careful.
With that mindset, you are.
Oh, fuck off.
He's over here like, I don't understand why you don't use it as like personal lube. Like, why aren't you just using it as hummus?
Yeah, what up?
Like, sir, have you seen tubs of hummus in the U.S.? It's enough to be a murder weapon. Like, that's a lot of hummus.
You ever chomped down on a dick and felt like, hummus?
First of all, I don't think chomping down a dick is a great idea. Number two, adding hummus to a sad situation does not sound like a good idea. Like, oh, I didn't like that. No. Oh, thank you. No.
Do you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
Oh my god.
Where did we find him?
we get to blame Level Up Pixie for this, okay?
Oh,
I feel like this is starting to become like an episodic
Hold up.
occurrence.
I'm going to type her a very well-written I am. Just a whole second. Listen, we have found...
5-page DM.
We have found our warranty and our receipt, and we would like to return. Oh my god.
He is broken beyond repair.
Yeah, just a teensy bit. But,
this man is foobar as fuck.
You just suggested adding hummus to fellatio, so I just want to reiterate there that you are busted. Yes, your software needs a lot of update.
Have you tried it?
I will never. I promise you in all the days.
Footnote for my future partner.
There's another one.
I will say,
shit yourself in public.
I will say,
and rub hummus on your tits. Let's go.
Could you imagine though? They're saying, I already gave you the idea for assert dominance with shitting, right? And then they just rip it off, and they got the two little like portable hummus packs, and they like pop them off, and it goes. Like, could you imagine? So not only do they have like human shit on the ground, but now they've got hummus looking from their calcium cannons. You're welcome. I was like, oh Jesus Christ, yeah, that would be a sight. Also, I think your second take will be in the psych ward. Just prefacing. Wouldn't look
dousing themselves in hummus while actively shitting themselves.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to do.
That's the perfect first date, ain't it?
I'm really concerned. Please, nobody who listens to Streamless give him any fucking ideas. Okay? Oh my god.
My DMs are open.
He'll be like, hey, you gotta coat your booty in barbecue sauce and it's all good. Like, no, I'm good. Thank you. So you can get 2 different.
That's not a bad idea.
Simon would be that person who, and if you haven't heard yet, there's like a couple's intimate painting thing you can do where it's like, body safe paint, and you basically like, coat yourselves or coat the painting, and you lay down and do the act. And then when you come up, it's like this dried, I don't know, fucking Rorschach image of your lovemaking. And all I can think of is Simon's would attract ants. And we would all know why.
And then we coat them in epoxy varnish, and we got art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can make millions off of this.
But knowing you and the way that you leave your condiments out, I feel like it'd be hung right back here. And if you were like, damn, this nugget needs some, I know where barbecue sauce is. Swipe. And it would just be like, screw it.
Just needs a dash.
Put the fucking condiments. Oh my god. Oh my god. Every week. It used to be the bottles on the floor were the problem, and I'm sure your floor is coated with tripping hazards.
Not actually.
But the condiments chill it out.
Tripping hazards is a wide term. It's a very wide term.
I don't want to know. I realized there could literally be immigrant children under your desk. I don't know. I don't want to know. There could be anything. I don't want to know. No, I'm good. Don't give me any other ideas.
No immigrants, no.
Just refugee mice.
Oh. And you know
Fightful.
what? You know what? You know what it is? They're the roaches from Joe's apartment. Just hanging out. Like,
I was going to say he's not going to get that one.
You won't get that one.
No.
I will give you information later. Don't worry, they're having a party. But yeah, I feel like any other thing living in there besides you is being fed very well. So, no, but anyway, circling back. I want to tell you guys about this like super ridiculous wholesome moment I had yesterday, and Cordi knows about it a bit, and I think Simon knows a tad about it, but like, yeah.
I just like how we're following up the previous conversation with wholesome.
Yeah, because it went from like little ass paint to barbecue sauce to I need a chair in the corner. Like,
what part of that is not wholesome?
I mean, when I see you dip down nugget in it, I will know that it's no longer wholesome. Okay, don't look at me like that, Ron Jeremy. Jesus Christ.
Oh Jesus.
No. So the. Oh shit! Before I get there, I gotta tell you about future partner stuff I saw on TikTok.
Oh dear.
There was this question of, can men blow up their foreskin? Like, you can blow up a balloon? And this guy was like, I'm real curious. And like, you couldn't see below because TikTok, right? And he's like, yeah, you can. And then we're just like,
I did not know this.
Yeah, so I figure, no,
get back here. That's a post-recording problem,
and I will not be here for that. As much as I love you, I need to know. Okay, you can just give me a simple yes or no. But actually, don't give me that. I don't want that either. But like, I just thought it was so funny because all I could think it was like, so she's there, shitting herself for dominance, barbecue sauce on her ass, hummus on her tits, and you're like, who are you gonna blowfish your dick? And it's just like, ha, we are one. Let's do it. That's all I could think of. Now on to wholesome things. Yesterday, so I spent most of the day with my nephew, and he's like this little micro genius, and I was just like, oh my god. But so it was Nate and I, we went to go visit my sister and my nephew, and his dad, the douchebag, hasn't wanted to have like visitation with him in like 2 months. And he had been kind of sad because like he's almost 8. Like that's when kids really like, especially boys are like, well, I want to hang with dad. And dad's like, I don't really care about you. And like, if I see him crossing the street, I might speed up. So there's, I could do anything. That's my kid I've talked about before. That like we got into Transformers together. I got to give him Nerf guns. Like I would do anything for him. Like he's huge into Titanic right now, and one of my friends who works on video games gave me a sample of like Titanic game to give to him so he could, like, because actually I was working on, like, I pretty much kill humans for this kid. And so yesterday, he's been big into building Legos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it's always trying to get everybody's attention and everything else. And so Nate decided to step in and be dad for the night. And like literally gave him 100% undivided attention. Sat on the floor, played with him with Legos, helped him build some Technics, and then the little spinny Ferris wheel thing. And then they spent the next couple of hours trying to build a Lego boat. And they would take it over to the sink and fill it with water, and then see if it would float. And then that one didn't float, so they went back to the drawing board and figured out different ones. So, he let him have most of the input. And he was like, well, you want me to help you with some of this? And he's like, yeah, what if we do this and that? You just hear him, like, planning, world takeover. And they would go back for the next one, like, okay, well, that kind of floated, but not quite. And on the fourth try, and many soggy shirts later, they got it. And they were so ecstatic. And then after that, they sat down on the couch and they were watching YouTube videos of, I remember when you put on a screen anywhere, you've lost my husband. Like, it could be like, hey, I'm giving birth, but there's a TV on. He'd be like, whoa. So, like, he was really excited that there was an iPad going, and they were watching robots together and different, like, YouTube, like, technical videos, and they could just look over, and they were just both beaming and smiling. They would kind of chuckle about certain things and go back to it, and it was, like, my heart was so full. I was like, he needed it, and then when we had to leave, he was like, oh, does Uncle Nate have to leave too? Like, he was like, basically, you could go, bitch. Like, but can't you just stay? And I was like, I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. He does have to go home with Aunt Meg. I was just like, no. But, like, it was one of those moments where I was like, my heart just like, no, we don't have to. We could just move in. It's fine. Because, like, he was just so thrilled to have that 100% undivided attention from a male figure. And like, who was encouraging him and helping him teach ways and listening to all the words he was. Nate's very patient. He'll listen to a kid get their full paragraph out where I'm just kind of like, oh God, are we done yet? like he's the one who would literally help him like tie-dye macaroni to put on a paper for art. You know what I mean? Like, totally chill guy. Will eventually be a wonderful dad. But it's just one of those, like, it was just such a cute moment. And like, even afterwards, I was like, hey, like in the car, I'm like, thanks for doing that. He was like, I had fun. Like, it wasn't like a thanks thing. Like, and I was just, because I just felt like, I felt bad. Like, you had to kind of babysit. He was like, I don't feel bad. It was a great time. And it was just having both sides of, like, not only Paul saying, like, it was a really good time for him, but also my husband saying it was a really good time for him. It was just a very, very wholesome moment. And I was just like, God, that was just so, and I see them so rarely nowadays because of usually all the distance from people and things. Right. But seeing that, like, wonder or sparkle on a kid's face, like, makes me just, like, and, like, little things, like, for the longest time, I would bother Zon in the middle of the night when I wasn't sleeping well. And Lillian would come in, and Monday sometimes she'll come in, and you see this little kid go, wah! Of all the screen names, she learned to say Rhenvi, and she's still very young. Aww. So she'll pop in like, Rhenvi, hi Rhenvi, and I'm just like, no. My heart's just like, I'm so sorry. 1 second. Let me sew it back together so it's currently exploding. So it's just like for me, little wholesome moments are the wonder or excitement of seeing kids learn things or do things or be excited about things. And on the other hand, it's little stuff like animals. Like animals the last couple of years have just made my whole life. Like, I got to watch, when I woke up at 4:37 a.m. this morning, I got to watch a polar bear get a paw x-ray. And they had trained him how to put his little paw, like, in this thing. And then they were feeding him little, like, liquid, like, sugar juice honey thing and little kibble bits. And he was like, oh yeah, I can put my paw here. At first he was like, should I put my whole face here? They're like, no buddy, just your paw. And he was like, no face? I can put face though. They're like, yeah, good check. But how about tree over here? He's like, ooh, tree over here. Like, now put your paw here. He's like, I can put my paw here. They look like a little it looked like a big old digital camera. It was a mobile x-ray machine. And they got his paw in there and then they x-rayed it. But it's just a little fat fuzzy paw. And he's just like, I'm getting honey on the side. This is great. And I was like, it was just so wholesome because they made sure he wasn't hurt. He wasn't in a bad condition. He's being rewarded. You know what I mean? It was just super cute. And I was like, this is wholesome as shit. important Nate, who's like sacked out to the world.
I want a polar bear.
It's 4:30. I want a polar bear too. You know, there's a whole thing of like death. So Nate's half asleep, and I'm like, hey. He's like, mind you, I bought this man a thicker, full cushion, like total blackout sleep mask for me to fuck with him at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure it's real great. And I'm like, do you want to see a polar bear get an X-ray on his paw? He's looking at me like, maybe can we do it when I wake up? I mean, but like, yeah, sure, I guess if you need me to, what do you want? It's cool. You know, like, back off to sleep. And stuff like that. It's just been super cute lately and just very wholesome moments. And I was just like, this is, it's the little things that I like. Because like I've blocked out nearly anything negative or, I should say human said, I guess, on Facebook, on Twitter, for the most part, on different things. And it's just filled for the most part with like wholesome shit and animals. Like, pretty much just that's all it is. And I'm like, this is great. But of course, in Michigan, they legalized online gambling and they've been pushing it heavily. So it's like, oh, cute, gamble on your sports. Screw off. Oh, cute, screw off. Oh, cute, screw off.
Oh my god, is that cute otter? Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, a little bit of a kitty. Did you know that you can get $23 on your first? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it is. And I'm just like, okay, go away. I have enough mental addictions. I don't need to don't let me gamble. I am really good about saving money.
5 free spins on the roulette?
No, don't let me in. That's why I also don't gamble. I don't actually gamble really ever. And if I ever do, it's for like fun sakes. Like if I've gone to Vegas like that, I set aside like X amount of money. I leave my debit card at home because I know me and I'll be like, just one more. Everyone here has seen me get drunk. Just one more is like my fucking, I should have it tattooed. Like, I don't need it. But it was just
there's always room for one more applies to cocktails and French fries.
The problem being, I forget where my feet are. And then I forget where my fingers go, and then I get incredibly thirsty. And I also have a strong problem with rejection. You can see where this could add up to be a bad scenario, and it has more than one time in my life. And so no. That's not a good look.
I don't have a problem with rejection. I get it all the time.
Oh, jeez.
Oof. Maybe I really should, and I should get deconditioned. What were you saying, Cordi?
Fun fact, the only gambling I've actually really done has been pretty much quick picks when the jackpot's like stupid high in the Michigan lottery.
Same. I have done that.
Or scratch off tickets that I get for Christmas.
Yeah.
Because that's a family tradition. That's it though. Like literally, I guess in certain games, like there's gambling mini games, sure, if you want to count that, but I don't think I would because it's not real stakes.
Not real money, yeah.
But other than that, aside from heading into the restaurant of one of the casinos in downtown Detroit, and then when we went to Vegas when I was like 11, I've never set foot inside of a casino.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
just
me neither.
Not my thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I assume they have casinos over there in Denmark, or at least one or something. But you've just never gone.
I know the exact location of one, but I've just never been in it.
Yeah, honestly, you're not wasting your time. And for the longest time here, they still allow it here. You can smoke in casinos. So it's one of the few things that like you're allowed to still have cigarettes in. And if you machine lock, which I loved that when I was smoking, it was a great thing. And I would just come in and, I'd get like either the penny slots or the quarter slots. I mean, not all the time. Like I was going with friends. I wasn't just going to be like, hey, it's a Tuesday. Let's go down to the casino. No. Maybe. And so we'd sit there for hours and just like, because they'll bring you drinks too if you're like actively playing. And so you can get like kind of free drinks, which is nice. So you just drink and smoke and play. And I usually ended up broke. One time at the worst casino we have is Motor City Casino. I'm sorry, that is the scuzziest casino, and I don't care if anyone from Detroit hears this. It is the worst casino. I hit $500. And off of like...
How much did you spend?
$30. So
okay.
yeah.
That was a win.
I was down to my last like $7 though. So I was like, I was doing max bet spins because I was like, I don't really care. I came to like just get in and get out and get done with this so I can go home. And it gets down to like 7 and I was like max bet, and then it hit, and then it hit another thing, and it was like 423, and I was like, I should quit. But like me, I hit one more double spin and it hit a small one, but it ended up being like 540 at the end. I was like, okay, we're gonna cash out now. Cash out. You know, and then I was having so much fun making it very briefly rain in the car of 100, 200, 300, 400, 220s. Or 500, 220s. Like, yeah, and then I picked it all back up. And I was like, yeah. Like, not enough for like a money gun. And the money gun would look at you like, really? You're only loading that much into me? Why even bother? Like, you know,
it just jams out of principle. It's just like, fuck this. You gave me 7 bills. 7 fucking bills. No, I'm not even gonna fucking look.
No. You know what? You come back when you have the actual big boy money and we'll talk. I'm just like, oh God. But yeah, no, other than that, like if I go to Vegas, I will pack like, Nate and I have gone twice, and I have packed like $200, you know, for each of us to spend, so 400 in total. But we knew we were just gonna have fun. It was our fun money, you know, like we could do whatever we wanted with it. And I lost mine quick.
With the quickness.
Quick. And I was like, well, that's enough for me. Whereas Dave would put like $1 in and get 10 cents, and he would like run from the machine screaming like, I got 10 cents. And I was like, we have wildly different perceptions on how to gamble, but like, you know, way to go. I was like, run. I'm like, it's a dime. He's like, it's a dime. We're up.
I think the most I've gambled was like online and like sports.
Oh, you're the one who would fall for the ads on Twitter. Don't move to Michigan. Got it.
No, see, I did it once and I put in like $20. And then that was when like esports was in like what's new on online gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just sat there and I looked at it like, there's a tournament going on in League of Legends, and they're like, okay, so the odds are like this if these win and odds like that. Okay, so if you guys just put like $1 on this and $2 on this, I'm gonna end up with a plus no matter who wins. They've not thought this through.
Oh my God.
And I ended up I made it out with like $100, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop now. I'll never gamble again.
Yeah.
Game the system and then be done.
Yeah, I was just betting like $1 here, $2 here, and okay, so now I got $2.50 out of that.
Yeah. No, that's the reality, I feel like, of either are Nate or you're me. And you were Nate. You're like, I'm done. Whereas I'm like, but what if one more? And that's where my brain just doesn't seem to, it's like the angel and devil, right? And the angel's like, hey. I feel like my brain would go, in the most extreme situations, my brain would go, hey, that's an apex predator. And my devil would be like, pet it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just things like, you know, but the problem is I would take this jackass's opinion and I'd be like, hey, kitty. Ah! You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm just like, you know, what if I just, I'm like hovering over the button, I'm like, push, you know?
See, in some cases, though, the devil has hog-tied the angel and is holding them at gunpoint.
The angel is into
it. But holding them at gunpoint to say, yes, this is a really good idea.
I want to tell you that's the case. But I'm pretty sure she's a rotting corpse because they've already killed them like years ago. Like, I'm pretty sure she's almost skeletonized. Like, it's
I was gonna say it's like the devil going like, you should burn down the house, and then the aliens coming on the alien. I'm not drunk. Angel.
I was going
comes on the other side,
I just
like,
imagine
yeah, this dude has a point. Yeah. The alien on the other shoulder comes in and is like,
ah! You got aliens and predators on your shoulder.
Yeah. Like it's a little xenomorph sitting there,
the
like
alien on one side going.
No. You have the alien
and on the other side, you got the predator going.
Yeah, pretty much.
You have the alien on one side going. Simon, I really want to talk to you about your, because, you know, the mouth's got to come out,
I
right?
might need to talk to you about the extended warranty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Yes, please. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure she's got a little, like, epitaph and a tombstone. Like, I think that's why my shoulder hurts. Like, she's just buried. And just kind of causing some, you know, muscle issues. But, no. You guys got any, like, wholesome moments? Anything crazy? Anything fun you want to talk about? You've been like, you know, that really got me.
I actually cried at work.
Oh?
Friday. That was too much.
What happened?
We had a parent couple coming in with a little baby with the massivest blue eyes I have ever seen.
No.
No.
And for some reason, she just, I don't know, imprinted on me or some shit.
Like a newborn animal.
Kind of like they would take her up and they'd turn around. As soon as she couldn't see me, she would start screaming.
Oh.
And then they would turn around, she'd just be looking at me like, She was so happy, just this little big toothless smile on her little face.
Aww.
And we talked a bit, me and the dad, but well, his mum, like the mum was talking to my boss, and then the dad had to talk to my boss about something, and the mum comes up to me, and she's like, oh my god, she really loves you, and I'm like, oh my god, she's so adorable. And then the mum goes, do you want to hold her?
Oh, yes.
and you know me, so I immediately go, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I hold this little child, and as soon as she, like, figures out where she's at, she just reaches and pulls my beard.
Yeah.
Like every baby I have ever held.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at that moment, I just started crying, like snot was almost coming out of my face. I was just like, and Mom's there like, are you okay? Are you hurt? Like, no! But my heart might explode!
Oh. I do love how the most baby crazy of the group is not the two women. Man.
I was completely non-functional, and then the little girl, she's like, she sees crying, and she's like, starts to cry as well. I'm like, no! No, don't cry!
Aww. That's adorable. They're like,
Question.
well, if you do it, I do it. Yeah.
Was this the same baby that you taught to fist bump?
No.
No.
That was this little cute, like, the cutest little baby boy, and he was just like, the sun-kissed skin, and his little curly brown hair, baby hair, and he like had massive like dark brown eyes as well. And what happened in reality is that he moved his little baby fist forward. He didn't know what was going on, and then I went like, "Hey, yo, little homie," fist bump, and then I smiled, and he laughed because he made another person smile. So he smiles and laughs.
Aww.
I'm like, yeah, we homies now.
That just reminded me of how I got my nephew in trouble in preschool. When he was in preschool, the whole boop the snoot thing was like very, very big. And so I was like, we would play this whole like boop the snoot, boop the snoot. And he was like, haha, and he'd like run around and do it to his mom and grandma and grandpa, you know, Nate. And they're like, oh yeah, boop the snoot. And I literally saw him like, because we hadn't moved that far away yet, and we were in Canton. And we came over a couple weeks later, and I was like, oh hey, boop the snoot. And he like goes to stop me, and he goes, no. And I was like, wait, why? I was like, don't you like it? And he goes, we're not allowed to boop the snoot. And I'm like, what's happening? My sister leans over, she goes, yeah, he may have gotten in trouble at daycare for booping snoots. And I was like, I did that. I was like, I'm so sorry, bud.
How do you get in trouble for boop and snoot?
Listen,
I mean,
people are way too
unless he came at him like
nowadays, like, oh, how dare you touch my kid? This is way before COVID. But everyone's just like, don't touch my kid. And I'm like, they're kids playing. But he got in trouble for booping. I mean, now granted, he was a toddler, so toddler strength is a little bit perplexing. So sometimes it could be boop the snoot, you know what I mean, versus boop the snoot. But it wasn't meant anything sour. You know what I mean? It was all meant to be sweet. And it's just like, oh, I was like, oh. And the other one where you're like, no one remember that I taught him that, right? Takes 3 steps back. And I felt horrible because he was so excited and then he got grounded from like a preschool from like being able to do the thing I taught him. And I was like, oh, sorry, bud. You know, and it's just like, oh, well, different times. So, like, I haven't taught him anything physical since then because I didn't want him to go, like, you know, get in trouble with anything else.
I fear the day I'm going to send my children to daycare.
Yeah.
And I get told that, like, they need to have a talking to because they were playing tag.
It'll happen.
It was tackle tag.
Yeah.
It's the only way to play.
Wait a minute, though. That's 100% Simon's kid. She was like, nail, head. It was tag.
It's the only way to play.
You don't have to be a linebacker to play tag, Simon.
Look, if you have to sprint to catch the person in front of you, you have to sprint. You know you can't just stop on a dime.
I can't.
They asked for it. They could just not been that much faster. Just be slower. You wouldn't have been tackled.
Be slower. Oh my God. No, that is not the key. Playing co-ed soccer for, well, even just same sex and then co-ed soccer later. I have always been a somewhat brick house. I have lost weight, but I've always had this kind of frame. And I've always been very like, on impact, it's rough for you. You can't go slower because I've ran over people. I'm pretty sure I broke one girl's leg. It wasn't like I intended to. Just physics says I can't stop on a dime. I will just, and it's like a railroad, like move. And if you don't move, like and if you've got the ball, my mind is just like ball, like a golden retriever, ball. I'm coming for you. I need it because that's the. I understand it's objective, and I'm going to execute. And you can't say that because, like, listen, shit will still hit. I used to play tackle soccer, and it wasn't the best idea. You know,
there was a reason I was a goalie.
Oh, I ran into you guys too.
Oh no, but I usually won. Is the thing.
Yeah.
It didn't matter how big the other person was. I usually won.
Well, good. Because I was that person who was like, chugga, woo, woo, at you.
Well, I was the goalie that I would, breakaway coming. Mm-hmm. Do the whole, you start at the front, then you start to move back, and then at a certain point you have to close the distance to make the goal smaller and you bigger type thing, right? It's all math. Really. Yeah. But then I get to a certain point, and if they haven't tried to, get around me or shoot the ball at that point, immediate dive onto my side to basically go for the ball, but maybe or not grab their legs as well.
I almost wonder, because we grew up essentially not that far from each other, I wonder if we ever played each other and didn't know. I really wonder, because there was somebody who used to grab my leg when they dived. And I'm like, we were
not a good team overall, but so I took my ups where I could get them. But in general, my favorite one was the grass was just that amount of moist where you could just slide on it, like a bazillion feet, right? So I did that, but I didn't grab the legs. I legit went for the ball on that one. Gal just went flying over me, and when she landed, she slid like 10 feet on the grass, almost into the goalpost, and she fought with the ref, trying to get me a yellow card, and then she ended up getting ejected from the game because she was fighting so hard for it. Her coach was like, "Shh, stop. Don't," and gone, just gone. Yeah. I'm like, and that
with the quickness.
Thanks.
Jesus Christ.
But
Yeah.
I mean, but legitimately, even like when I would play occasionally, I would play stopper.
Mm.
That borderline midfield position, but still on defense.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll just say that if somebody tried to like muscle me out of the way, because I know how to lower my center of gravity and stand my ground, yeah, they didn't go anywhere. Or if they did go somewhere, it was back the way they came.
Jesus. Yeah.
Push.
I just think it's funny because like it's a little indicative that of Cordi as a human. Like Cordi would keep the house safe and be the goalie. And if you had to guess, I played offense. I wanted to go railroad these motherfuckers. I was like, we're gonna take this ball down court. Oh my god. There's Cordi's back at home like, I'm just decorating the goalie. We're gonna make sure we're good. Stay over there. I then also played for years in high school because I stopped playing soccer at the end of middle school. But in high school, I got more into swimming because we had a much better pool. And so I did like swimming dive. I even did synchronized swimming, but I also did water polo, which is basically soccer in the water, essentially. And oh my God, you couldn't touch them with your hands, but you could elbow, which was a mistake to tell me. So I literally got to the point where you ever had someone run over in the water? Like they're sitting there bobbing, trying to like, come catch you. And I elbowed them down to then get my foot on top of their shoulder and keep going. And like, you were allowed 3 kickouts per game. Every game I got 2. Every game I got 2. And we had these, what they're called like seal suits. And so they're not like your average swimsuit. They like cling to your skin on purpose. They come all the way up to here, go all the way down, and they're full coverage. There's no openings. And they zip up the back and latch. But
you're not going for speed.
If you get your finger underneath it, you really have to work. These things cost $100 a pop from Speedo. At the time, in 2000s, that was 2001, 2005, that was a lot of money for a swimsuit. Yeah. Not me. I've just bought a really cute gothic swimsuit for the same amount. It's not nearly as helpful as that one. But so I loved it. It's my pride and joy. I worked my ass off at like little part-time jobs and gigs to afford it because I was in foster care, so I didn't have a lot of money. And one of our like championship games, this girl comes at me and she gets her hand up under my suit. And I like, so it's like right here almost. And we're going and I don't know what she had, Hulk strength, but these things were like you really couldn't. She tore it. Y'all, I had a Janet Jackson tit situation, but I was going to score that goddamn goal. I had 2 male coaches, by the way. I was going to score that goal. I was like, I don't give a goddamn. And I was like, and like it hit and it was good. It was scored. And they were like, hey, maiden name, out the pool. And I'm like, what? And I was like, I hadn't realized the effect of what had happened until it was just like, sup? I was like, ta-da. So I'm just kind of like holding my suit and they're like, yeah, do you have a secondary? I was like, no, this is my only skin suit. They're like, yeah, you gotta kind of chill out for the rest of the match. So I eyeballed this chick. I gave her the most aggressive, I will meet you, catch me outside. I will end you. I saved up so much money.
How about that?
It's the only time in my life I've ever thought about honestly slugging a person in high school. Like, to the point where, like, I would have blacked out and she'd just be on the ground and I'd be like, wow, that's wild. How's she dead? Like, because it was so, like, everything I got, I had to work so hard to save for. Like, I had to work my ass off to do side jobs, like babysitting or lawn mowing or whatever else with neighbors to afford my homecoming dresses, to afford my anything I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I had to raise my own money for it. And so I was just like, I became a pro salesperson. Like, we had little fundraisers. I was like, hey, raise some funds to like do this. I sold so much cookie dough, popcorn, whatever you could think of, magazine subscriptions. I hustled door. I was like, you will buy one for me because you will feel bad. And I would just manipulate people into it. And I would make sure I got like whatever I could get from that to be able to go on these trips that we had to go on for like, rent a bus and go to like different championships. Mm-hmm. I made sure that I did every possible side hustle to get, this is why I had 2 jobs for like most of my adult life until, the last 10 years. But it was just like, I was sitting here literally working, maybe 8 years, literally working all this stuff. And I was just like, I need to make sure I have money. So I looked at my main money and then side money, like just so I can cover anything else. But to this day, I'm still mad at her. I don't know her name, but if I ever see her, I mean, I've memorized her face. Like she has plastic surgery. I will give her the biggest stink eye. Like if I'm at Starbucks and she walked in, you look at the coffee, ain't gonna be great. Like, you know, I'm just gonna be like, I remember you. It was 2004.
Mocha latte with extra wasabi and salt.
Oh. You know what I mean? And I would be like, oh, that's a shame. Guess you shouldn't have ripped my swimsuit in high school. They'd be like, girl, we are like almost to 40. What is your problem? I'd be like, it cost me a lot of money. Yeah. So does your coffee. And I'll keep her making it horrible. Have a wonderful day. You know, like, I was so beside myself. It was like, and with the Kill Bill sound, like, wee, woo, wee, woo. But I was like, no, come back. We don't need to be charged for murder at 16. Maybe not.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying. Yeah. What? It
was just, oh, that's wild. She's dead. My mind went like, oh, that's strange. Like her fucking hands tied behind her back, 16 stab wound. She's half of her body's covered in fire. That's a strange suicide.
First of all, it's always 28. It has to be a crime of passion or more. It gets to be 16 stab wounds. You gotta be like real malicious. I mean, I can like flambe her later, but it's gotta be like 1,000, like just angry stabs. 16 seems so low for me if I were to really snap. Like, I'm pretty sure I would just, like, sashimi them. Like, it would just be like, you know? I likely will never, ever snap. But if I do, you know what?
Keep her away from the knives. Or any other implement that can be used to be stabby.
No, but here's the whole thing. It doesn't even matter. I'll find something. I'll beat you with my lightsaber. I don't give a damn. The point is, the U.S. prison system, I don't gotta pay any bills. I can get more education. I got 3 meals a day, some rec time and dessert, and cable, and health insurance. Listen. Oh. It ain't that bad.
You get dental?
You get dental. Yeah. Yeah, it makes you think twice, doesn't it?
Like, hold on.
Like, I'm never...
I got a murder
with a spoon. I know. You know what I want to see you do? Teaspoon. I want you to get like a little melon baller and just go scoop out of people. like, I have all these skin balls. Would you like some? Skin Yeah. No, so the thought is, as I've gotten older and I'm kind of like, life's kind of worthless sometimes, I'm like, you know, if I like murdered like Karen and her dog down the street, wouldn't be bad for me. There's no death penalty in Michigan. I wouldn't get, I wouldn't get lights out, but I could have amenities. What?
For legal purposes, Rhenvi would never harm an animal.
Oh, yeah. No. There are few that So let's say, I'm glad you put that caveat. She didn't say human. She said animal. I want you to read that transcript back, okay? You're right. There are times I've thought about punting the neighbor's dog because I felt irritating, but I wouldn't actually do it. I just want them to, like,
chill.
Stop barking. Just, like, we've tried dog whistles. We've tried little, like, outdoor thingies. They don't give a goddamn. And I'm just like...
Duct tape. Ooh.
That's abuse, friend. Although the thought has crossed my mind because they've started recently around 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yay!
And everybody knows I am not a morning person.
Are any of us?
I know some people. I married one of them.
No. I meant of the 3 of us. I don't think any of us are.
Oh, no. Likely this little home slice woke up like 20 minutes before recording. But like...
No, I woke up at 7.
Yeah, and they had the time change last night. So he was really up at 6.
I'm actually really surprised because usually you greet us as tired as we are and usually hungover and you're like, hey guys. We're like, how you doing? You're like, it was a banger of a Saturday night. And we're like, oh God. When you don't work, you are like that. You'll stay up all night and all day. I'm one of those people where I work But I still stay up all night, and I'm like, this is not working for me. I think I had that problem Thursday night to Friday night. I stayed up all night. And then Friday night to Saturday, I stayed up all night. And I was like, and then I went to hang out with my nephew, and I got home, and I was like, I just died. I just died. But if I wake up in the middle of the night, it's always at the same time. And I went to bed. I slept hard from 11 p.m. until 4:37 a.m. And I was like, I don't know if there's some sort of ominous thing connected to this time. That's why my body's like, don't miss it. It can't be 4:38. You must be up. And I'm like, really? What are we going to accomplish at this hour? Like, can we go back to bed? Nope. It's the only time I've ever been wide awake in my entire life. I could get, a good 8 hours of sleep, but my body's like, we don't like that. I can get 20 hours of sleep. My body's like, we don't like that. Like, barely 5 hours of sleep. My body's like, hey, we like that. And I'm like, why? I'm pretty sure I'm going to die. I saw this TikTok the other day. He was talking about how this guy thought he was normal. When he was talking to his doctor, he's like, you should have seen the look on my doctor's face. I think I broke her. She asked me, like, how often do you sleep at night? And he goes, 3 hours. I think it was normal. And she was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I usually go to bed around 4, wake up at 7. And I'm like, I usually go to bed around 4 or 5 and get up at like 8, 9. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's similar. And then I'm like, okay, is that red flag number 1? Number 2 is like, okay, well, like, how often do you eat? And you guys know me eating. I either eat or I don't eat. And there he was like, well, I eat occasionally. And she's like, what do you mean by you eat occasionally? He's like, well, I think I ate yesterday. She goes, what did you eat? He goes, pudding. I'm like, it's me. Stop calling me out in 4K. And I was like, oh no. I'm like, yeah. And the fact that he was like, my doctor thought I was losing my gourd, I was like, oh, maybe I'm doing a bad. Maybe it's like bad.
Maybe.
Right. Like, oops. What is that? Yeah.
I think my brain just broke. Let's
just now? Because I think it's been like on its way out for a bit. Like it's like the remote control without batteries or low batteries. Just smack it to get it to work again. You're like, come on, a few more clicks, right?
Dude, I am amazed my brain has not run completely out of batteries yet.
Yet. Have you begun the search for new ones?
No. Because that would spend energy in the batteries.
He's not wrong. I hate to say it. He's not wrong. But like, maybe you should consider taking a portion out of your day.
See me again at work tomorrow and I'm just sitting there in the corner like...
I just imagine you kind of like go to the corner and your body's like, software updating. It's just like a download.
In the middle of a conversation.
Yeah, you're just like, they're just download. And like, that's how it comes out.
Firmware update. Do not unplug hardware.
Do not shut down. Do not unplug.
But then somebody did. And that's how we got here.
I can just see it. And then even after the updates, they still insert the USB wrong 3 times. It's just like, God damn it. It goes this way. No, it goes this way. No, it goes... Does it go
another
this way?
reason. I have another excuse for being strange now. I was unplugged.
Involuntarily.
Without proper shutdown.
Oh, no. You know, he was an improperly removed USB device. Ejectable media was improperly removed.
Oh, yeah. Another take on my dead baby times.
Why do you act surprised about this?
I just was thinking about
every time.
Dead baby jokes are so inappropriate, unless it's Simon. And I'm like,
because he was one of those for a minute.
Well, right, but it still sounds bad. Then I'm like, oh wait, it's Simon. Calm down, face. Like that shouldn't be our response. Is calm down, face. It's just Simon. It's okay.
This is one of the best ones. Like, then I died, but I lived.
You literally said
died. I did.
You literally said,
but I lived.
I'll be back, and you sure as shit were. like, yeah, here I am. I'm pretty sure it's why you have moments where you'll look at us, you'll just be like, Huh? Like,
the lights are on, but no one's
and
home.
like, I think that meanwhile, I think sometimes like, oh, he's distracted with something on the screen. No, he's just not paying attention to anything. He's just glossed over like a little screensaver. Oh, do you remember those old school DVD screensavers? They would like, you would wait for them to hit the perfect corner, like, oh yes. But in the meantime, he's just like, bunk,
the DVD ones.
bunk, 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 bunk.
DVD screensavers. Fuck yeah. Dude.
Yeah, that was you. And that's all I could think of. Like, yeah, that tracks. 100%
It's the entirety of my consciousness that's just temporarily visiting the afterlife.
You're just listen. You made some homies down there. You gotta go back occasionally and check on them. I'm pretty sure you've got some investments in real estate, everything else. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're doing great down there. That or you gotta occasionally clean out the roaches out of your afterlife house and make sure it's all good. Like,
So
yeah.
So there's a book out there that I read / listened to a couple years ago now. It's called The Dispatcher, okay? So it's about basically a world where it becomes pretty much impossible to murder anyone. Like 99.9% of times, if you murder somebody, they will come back, wake up naked in their own bed at home. And so could you imagine like being able to extend your life? Like you're in this end of life situation, like you're on an operating table. You're going in for like quadruple bypass surgery, but it's not going to fucking work. Like before you legally die, your insurance requires you to have a dispatcher there to kill you before you die on the operating table, because if you die, you're dead. But if this dispatcher kills you, chances are you're going to wake up in your own bed and you get to try again.
You know how mad I'd be? Do you know how mad I'd be?
But like
I'm assuming, so it's in my own bed. I'm literally repeating myself. My same deaths still say. My same depression is still here. No. Yeah. Kill that dispatcher. Don't let him in. I want to go out.
And then there's also the chance that, you know, the dispatching doesn't work. There's that 0.1% chance that you literally just die.
Yeah, perfect.
Like, it's just one of those things. And like your dead body disappears when you know, end up going back to your own thing. So like basically your body blips out of existence, re-blips back in perfect, well, not perfect health, but like, you know, as you were that morning, basically. And it's a really interesting premise because this is actually like a murder mystery.
Oh, book. Shit. Okay.
So imagine that.
No,
It's good. It's good. I highly recommend it. It is by, what's the author's name? The author is John Scalzi.
Okay. Well, so send me that later. I'm kind of interested. Yeah.
It's not too long. It's not too long.
I'm just thinking, could you imagine like, oh, sweet release. You're like getting ready to like, look at your body, and the dispatcher's like, no, not today. Like, how do you get your soul back in your body? And it's like, boop, boop, psh. But I'm a little bit more interested in like, because we've been playing a lot of Halo lately. You know, when we die and our bodies are just like crumpled up Spartans in the corner, and I'm just like, but I want to see my remnants. Oh, there was 0027, 0028. It's like thudge. Oh, 0029. You know, like that sounds horrible. No, I would. Like the thought of like a Groundhog Day type of thing to me just murder me. But I like reading about it. I just don't want to ever have it be. Simon, you look so perplexed.
I mean, it's gotta be one dedicated murderer. To be like, I'm gonna make sure I get that one kill on the 0.01% chance that it's gonna be an actual murder.
Okay, but like, what if you just got your dispatcher stuck in traffic? Like, that murder could be way easier than you think.
Oh shit, he just works for the fucking road. He just turned all the lights red.
Yeah, and then, listen, I'm telling you, it's a lot simpler than you think to kill somebody. For legal purposes. I did not say that.
Look, I was there like, this dude's killed a lot of people to become a murderer.
No.
But you're there like, nah, just mess with the lights.
Yeah. Listen, I am like water. I will go to the path of least resistance, okay? Like, I will find my way into your house through, like, the easy open crack. No. I'm not going to sit here and plan, like, okay, well, if I maneuver on the day of the heaviest rain and make sure I get on the front of the house, lights. Just done. Yeah. Easy peasy.
Just pull the emergency stop on the train. He's going to be stuck.
Oh, yeah. Let's make the line at Starbucks way long after they've ordered. Listen, I know how to do this. I got it. But no, I've got serious critical importance questions for you guys. Offline, if we had to find you. Cordelia Chase, where could we find you?
Offline? Well, I live in southeastern Michigan, but that's about all you're going to get from me.
I can't with you. Wait, it?
My street address.
No, we don't dox here.
Nah, off the podcast, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok at Cordelia Chase, Cordilia Chase. Simon?
I'm on Twitter at Warriors Lazy, and I have a link tree that sends you down to all of my other shit. So yeah, have a good time with that.
Yeah.
Rhenvi. Getting rougher by the minute. But yeah, you can find everything from Twitter, and that is Renegade G, RAGNEG. And also, if you wanted to reach us, Streamless, we have our own Twitter and email. Our Twitter is at StreamlessP, and our email is streamlesspod@gmail.com. Send us anything you may like, any feedback, any talking points, any fan art, any jokes.
Cool dating tips.
I guess teaching babies how to do things besides fist pumping. Your choice.
Yeah. Just a reminder, we do have caption contests ongoing as we record. So by the time this releases, we're probably done recording for the year. But we unfortunately did not have any entrants into the caption contest for episode 6. So just wanted to keep you guys in the loop, let you know that we didn't forget. Just, it happened. Nobody said anything this week. Sorry.
Just be better, people.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what? Aim all of your complaints at Lazy Warriors.
No, well, on Twitch. On Twitter, it's at Warriors Lazy.
Warriors Lazy. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yes, please get out there and caption. We really appreciate it. It's been quite a chuckle when we review them.
Yes.
But until next time.
Yes.
Fun. All right.